Everybody, nice meeting everybody. We gotta go. We got Moana 2 to get to.
Oh,
well, not really. Our son and our daughter do, but you've got the hunting friends coming to town.
I gotta drop some people off. But
wow,
I do
it's
have to
early.
get them there. I know.
It starts tomorrow.
He's going to sit tonight.
That's me. I'll get there all night.
He's going to
Get
sit
there
tonight.
Early. I'll roll around
First one in that stand.
We've got Long Island friends coming to town.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You got a whole guided situation
my
going.
best friend from high school.
Husband.
Her husband's coming to town.
I'm so curious to know what he's
I think
They're staying right here.
They're staying right here somewhere in an Airbnb on the Gulf Road.
Oh, up the road. Big Sky.
Probably. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are you? Where are they gonna hunt?
I'm gonna take them to Quabbin.
Okay.
Set them loose.
Shoot some moose or
I'm
something.
gonna say, hey. So I'm at the top of a draw. I'm like, okay, you guys walk up this draw. That's my hope. So, yeah. You start here and just walk towards me, and then you would get.
Oh, nice.
You'll learn, right?
That's it.
Have they hunted here before?
Yeah, we had it.
When that gets going, that's gonna be hot.
Yes, it is.
It's gonna be nice.
The point. By itself.
Yeah, you're right. I'm cold right now. That's kind of what I want.
It's gonna be a ripper.
Come over in here, Katie.
Yeah, and I hope one steps out tomorrow. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, she's like that? Now,
Okay.
It's gonna be a cold week.
Gluten free.
Yeah,
It's gonna be a cold week.
I think you're right. I think South Africa will be good for this stuff.
I've had a lot of interesting encounters in my years of hunting, but my earliest memories are more of my dad, because my dad was the primary kind of influencer, and he is the individual from which I learned most of my at least my early kind of hunting technique and ethic. And so I remember a lot. I mean, when I think back on my early days of hunting, I think of him. And it's not necessarily me hunting. I remember, even when I was old enough to hunt, I can't say I was the most disciplined of hunters, and so I would kind of skip opportunities to go out when the conditions were good. But my dad wouldn't, and so I remember I have these very fond memories of him. Where I grew up, we grew up along the edge of a 14-acre cornfield that was maintained by a local farmer, grew cow corn. And I just remember oftentimes watching my dad, in 4 o'clock in the afternoon, just kind of disappearing into the corn husks and, walking through the corn, ultimately up into the backwoods where we spent the majority of our time hunting. And that's the stuff those are the moments I really remember. And of course, I remember other moments, sitting in the tree or sitting at the ground at the base of a tree, cold mornings, waiting for whatever I was hunting at the moment. Those early memories are very kind of father focused, and all of them good memories.
What I'm thinking is, we're kind of doing a wide loop. Eventually I want you to be able to look in this direction out onto this little bowl here, or there's a little bit of a peninsula straight ahead over there, and that would allow you to look over one side of it or onto this side. That's kind of what I'm thinking. But it'll be easier for us to go this way. So,
good.
Sound good?
Yeah.
Good.
at my most focused, I am looking and listening very intensely. And if I'm lucky, another way of passing the time is just kind of watching nature show. I've had the benefit of just seeing so much in the woods, just sitting still. I might not see any deer, but I mean, I have seen so much kind of just natural activity, and not just animals, but just like, it's a real treat to just see the way kind of light filters into and out of the woods. Um, the sounds are incredible, especially if if you know the sounds, you can kind of like this picture, this kind of narrative forms, especially these moments of first light and last light. These are incredible transitions in the woods that not a lot of people get to see. And I won't say forced to, but if I'm going to do my job as a hunter, I really need to be in my tree stand before first light, and I need to be in my stand after sunset and it is dark. And at those moments, just the transition can be incredible. I mean, someone I know, it just calls it the magical hour, and it really is. I mean, there are oftentimes I'll be sitting in the woods for hours and hours and hours, knowing that I'm waiting for a period of time that's probably about 10 to 15 minutes long. It is just this moment when it could be the windiest day, and then suddenly, like maybe about 20 minutes after legal sunset, the wind stops. And then suddenly you can hear everything. You can hear all the crunches of the little rodents walk across the leaves. If you're lucky, you can hear the deer walking. And the light changes. And there's just like this, it's like a changing of the guard. Or you could have a moment where, all you could see is squirrels in the woods. And they're making all kinds of racket. And then at that moment, like right at dusk, they'll just stop. They're all gone. And then it's quiet. And then suddenly you'll hear, instead of the squirrels, maybe you'll hear the crunch of, white-tailed deer footfalls. But you'll hear, you'll hear a woodcock, or you'll hear a thrush, or, some other bird you hadn't heard all day long. And suddenly at this moment, it's vocal, or it's on the move. And it's such a wonderful moment in the woods. And oftentimes I'll say that. It's like, I know I'm getting in this tree stand at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, but I really am just waiting for that last moment when like things are really changing. And I would say the vast majority of the deer that I've killed have been killed at those moments when, they're coming out of their bedding and, starting their kind of nighttime feeding activity. Oh yeah, it's anticipation. But that's also when it's so anticipatory that my mind starts playing tricks on me, because then I start listening for footfalls that might necessarily be there, and it might indeed still be a squirrel that's active on the in the leaves, but I'm still paying attention in a way that I wasn't. And then it disappears. And then it's over. And then you hit the repeat, and you go back out the next day, and you get to do it all over again.
License registration.
Oh,
Looks like
she
you're not having a lot
parked in
of
her
fun
spot
in here.
too. She's gonna be mad as fuck.
What?
My son parked in the spot. You can go on this side of the truck.
Sam, your lights were awesome.
Last night we were saying we were gonna take the 4-wheelers over. Today. And
Yeah,
then,
we
then
did.
We saw how cold it was today.
But then he was like, and I had totally forgot we talked about it, and he was like, what about the 4-wheelers? I'm like,
We're like, yeah, this usually should be a 4-wheeler or a
You mean
side by
for-
side or something.
right.
Yeah. But we pushed
screw
out.
that.
Yeah, we're like, no, it's too cold.
They went off up there about 10 minutes ago.
The kids are in the woods. What's the worst that could happen?
Yeah, I don't know. But he's also gonna pay for a bear hunt this year. I said that's a fucking waste too.
Why?
In Maine. Said fucking go in your backyard for free. Sit by a barrel chained to a tree. I don't know about that. Not for me, you know.
No, me neither.
Pay that much money and
Well, that's one reason I didn't even bother going to New Hampshire the last few days.
yeah.
It was like, I got a New York permit this year. I did with Brad. We went up for 4 days in the camper.
Yeah.
And then I
did
was
that.
like, I just don't want to fork out another $110 just to go sit in New Hampshire for 2 days. I'm like, for 2 days, I'm like,
yeah, I get it.
I'll hunt here next week or this week and we'll see what happens.
I think you'll do pretty well. Big baby, huh?
What's up, Finster? What you doing?